Hi, you are watching SightsInPlus, and this is Romesh. Please to subscribe the channel for the HR news, for HR updates, and conversation with the top-notch CHROs, thought leaders, and business heads. Today, we are going to dive deep AI-powered performance management. Nothing is new about the AI in performance management, but if you look at advanced use of AI, like next-gen AI, if you could call it, then definitely there are certain things like sentiment analysis. So we will try to discuss these the things, and joining us two very esteemed panelists, Mr. Harjeet Khanduja is Senior Vice President Human Resources at Reliance Geo, and Mr. Balamalai Ranganathan is the Senior Vice President Product Strategy at Adrenalin eSystems Limited. So welcome both of you to SightsInPlus. Very first, I would like to know how do you see the AI, especially the next gen AI, is transforming the performance management?
Thanks for having us here, Ramesh. And AI transforming performance management. I would like to, even ask what is performance management today? Is it quantity of work that's accomplished, goal versus achievement, and things like that? I think we're going far beyond that, right? So is coming on time and going on time for an office, uh, does it deal with performance management, or otherwise coming somebody always comes late and goes late or goes early, or does it alters performance management? We all had our views on these kind of things, right? Now none of them matters because AI can bring every aspect put together and then give you a view. Those days when somebody thinks somebody comes late is for a disciplined manager, that's lack of performance, or it's a negative in the performance. Not really. Now you can capture every performance output and all the ingredients of the person to arrive at the exact performance in its true definition. So that's something we couldn't have done in other words, in other world. With AI, it is able to assimilate every data and gives us the best result. So AI can truly transform performance management, no doubt about it.
Aditi, what is your initial comment on this?
Initial comment is very similar. Let me put it in my words. Currently, when we look at performance management or any kind of performance improvement plans, uh, we use HR data. That okay, uh, how this data is playing, and we don't have say too much bandwidth to analyze that data. There is a company called Databricks. What that did was it had put the data of the entire organization together. So it is no more sales data or HR data or finance data. When you put all this data together and then you offer it to CEO and say, ask anything, it will tell you what is the problem in any area which you have. So it is like CEO going and asking the AI or generational AI. You put generational AI on top of this data, and then you ask why, which are the areas in which I can improve sales. It can tell you that your sales is not happening in South region, and it is not happening in these two states, and it is not happening in these two districts which are hit. The reason for not having sales in one district, your key leadership people are not there, and in the second district, the people are not trained to handle this kind of market transition which is happening there. Now, with this kind of insight where AI can go through immense data, bring those insights and package it in the words which you can understand. which are like without jargons, core numbers, and that is something which business is valuing a lot. Now, see it from a CEO's perspective. Now, CEO is not dependent on other people telling and figuring out what is happening and what is not happening. So, if you have to fix performance issues in your organization, or if you have to improve performance of people, then business leaders themselves can take charge and they don't have to say go through middlemen. You have to make sure that what kind of data you are creating which is helpful for leaders to make decisions. And that is the transformation which we are going to see as we move forward for HR. If you see what Uber had done, they simplified the performance management, that each customer interaction is a performance management opportunity, and we will create data there, and based on that feedback, analysis will be done. Now, generational AI has taken it one step forward, where they are saying now the huge amount of data which you are creating can be analyzed and you can be given insights which can help you improve performance of your people and performance of the organization.
So this can develop the complete report, performance report. What are the reasons why there's a lack of the performance, and what are the areas which we can improve for the individual as well. That's why we can look for the personalized performance development of an employee individually. So definitely it's very interesting, and HR can also talk on the data with this. So this is the reason that's why the performance is lacking. These are the areas where we need the improvement. So now, if we look at the real-time feedback, personalized development, predictive insight, so these are the general benefits we're talking about with the AI. So now we are also talking about sentiment analysis that is maybe on the early stage. So how do you see the sentiment analysis? It is going to help in improving the performance of performance management system. What do you think about this? First, what is the sentiment analysis? What is this and how it is going to help?
So, sentiment analysis is basically gauging um, what is the sentiment of your people. Are they happy? Are they excited? Are they sad? Are they frustrated? So you can get a sense that, suppose you have 10 departments and suddenly you find out, if you have, say, access to that information, that all my sales people are frustrated or demotivated, then there is something you can do to fix it. That there is a climate of which is not healthy for the organization, or um, suppose your marketing team is very happy, then what can you do about it? It is like additional data point based on which you can create a picture and you can decide how I can use this information for the betterment of my business. That is how I see sentiment analysis contributing to the business. Now, although I'm saying this, but I've used sentiment analysis myself, and I will give you a basic thing. If somebody says, I am sad, it doesn't mean that the person is not happy with the organization. It can totally mean something very different, that the person is giving 100% and the person is thinking the result should have come 110% and it has not come 110%, it is only 100%. That person is sad. And there is another employee who is very happy because uh, he got he did 50% of the job, rest of the job this guy left, and there was a party or farewell of another employee. So in which he had to go and he had to do some masti. This guy is happy. Now, if you use this kind of data without context, then whatever sentiment analysis you are doing at a scale might give you a different direction, or might take you to a different direction, which is not good for the organization. How people do sentiment analysis is, um, there is a lot of conversation. Like if you see, people write comments on Amazon products. If you buy from Amazon, you can write comments about Amazon products. So which product is doing well? One is you can look at by looking at 3.1 star or 4 star or 5 star, whatever the rating is there. Suppose some product is getting a rating of 3 star. Why that product is getting the rating of 3 star? You can assess that by doing sentiment analysis. You put all those comments in the AI engine, and AI engine can tell people were not happy because the delivery which Amazon did was late, or was there an actual performance issue with the product. Now, your action in both these cases is going to be different. So, I would say when you are looking at sentiment analysis, don't look sentiment analysis alone. It needs to be used with data which you already have and human insights. And this is another data point based on which you can make decisions, more informed decisions, which can help you to take your organization even further in terms of performance.
I think very beautifully you have defined this, and context is always important to the data. So, Balamalai, how do you see this is really at the early stage, or the organizations have started using this? What is your take on this?
Yeah, the best part Harjeet said was like you don't take data. There are some organizations have your smiley capture as you enter the office and leave the office and stuff like that. To me, that's not sentiment analysis. Yeah, it's one of it. That's not defense. As he said, sad and happy doesn't determine anything. An employee who is supposed to be fix 100 bugs, he keeps on fixing 100 bugs, 100, every 100 tickets. Otherwise, uh, can we assume that he's performing well? What if he's doing that under heavy stress, right? Now, how do you bring out the stress element of these people? How is where the way you capture data for your sentiment analysis is where the whole trick lies in. In our Adrenalin product, we introduced something called something equivalent to your Facebook or LinkedIn for employees, where people can post, collaborate, comment, share, and share ideas, ask questions, comment on somebody else's achievements and stuff like that. Such collaborative platforms, when you really take that unstructured data and feed into an AI, there you can get beautiful outcomes. It talks about who participates with a positive sentiment, who holds back, who is negatively driven. So lot of such sentiments comes, and when you see some departments are forming a pattern, then you can see what's wrong in that department. So there are various ways you can analyze sentiment analysis. Yes, for sure, it's a way to go, and there are systems coming in, like what I was just saying. How do you genuinely gather data for all this sentiment tracking? It's important, right? Um, uh, can we ever guess the sentiment of our spouse at home? We cannot, unless you spend the time and effort. Same is with your employees. You have to spend time and effort, not feasible practically by human beings. That's where AI systems come into picture. And yes, there are intelligent organizations are putting in such platforms which can definitely gather the sentiment of employees in full swing, not just happy and sad button in the morning and in the evening. That's a lot in it. For example, I'll just tell you one more thing. When we do appraisal discussion, one-on-one discussion with an employee, the appraiser is having a one-on-one discussion with the employee. We take the transcript and we summarize that into top 3, 4 bullet points and then share it to the reviewer. Imagine in this whole case, what happens? The conversation that appraiser having with an employee would be unbiased one, because he's not just going to pass his verdict to the reviewer. His entire conversation is transcribed, analyzed by AI as top few bullet points, and given to the reviewer. So everybody, so the appraiser will have a meaningful conversation because he knows his entire conversation makes an outcome here. It's just not what he finally writes in the paper. Similarly, the employee also, if he has to pour out something or explain something or justify something, the whole conversation speaks for itself. So there are such beautiful means through which AI helps
So that's why we are
genuinely
bringing the
capturing the
transparency
performance.
into the performance discussion.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That is a
Yeah, it
very
takes. Yeah,
important
yeah,
uses of AI.
yeah.
Yeah, please continue. Yeah.
No, I said there are definitely means today to genuinely capture employee sentiments and take it beyond.
Another, have you started the uses of sentiment analysis with any product that may be used for the employee engagement in HR or performance management, I think, as an organization?
I was just telling you, we have an attendance tracker in the facial recognition based attendance tracker. And obviously, we started as just a attendance tracker, but then your face can speak more, right? And express more. That was one basic element where we started capturing sentiments of people. And this collaboration platform, we call it as Pulse, Max Pulse, which has really given a wonderful value. The way we people contribute, participate, and even non-participating people themselves are indirectly referring a sentiment there that they are closed, they are not coming out. What's holding them? For sure, yes. These are some of the basic channels where we started getting the sentiment analysis driven through the organization. And
Nice,
being a HR
beautiful.
product, we are able to see this being used by our customers also, where we could really see they see the value out of it.
Nice, beautiful, beautiful. Harjeet, another very important that is the predictive analytics. How do you see the uses of predictive analytics in performance management?
Predictive analysis, look, the whole idea of predictive analysis is that you are able to predict the future. That if there is going to be a performance gap, then I can tell now. And suppose a sales guy is not able to sell, then why that person is not able to sell is something which you can do through sentiment analysis. And then you can figure out, okay, this guy might not be able to sell because this guy is doing a wrong pitch. Or maybe this guy doesn't know about the product. Or maybe communication is the issue. So for these people, for these different people, you would want to have different kind of uh, plans that how I am going to fix these issues. If you are looking at, say, people have who have had these kind of issues, and you capture that data for long term, um, say at least 6 months, 1 year, then you will be able to see certain patterns that, okay, the people who are not doing good at product knowledge and because of which they are not able to sell, there is a certain behavior they show at the beginning. And if you start looking at those behaviors, you might say that, okay, here I am seeing an early warning sign that this person will not be successful at that role. And here, what we need to fix is we need to fix product knowledge for this person because this person is behaving in a certain manner, which my data tells uh, leads to this kind of a problem. You can apply this criteria when you are interviewing people. currently a lot of platforms offer video interviews, and in video interviews you can actually get some amount of sentiment analysis, and you can figure out that what kind of messaging you are getting from the person when you are asking certain questions. When those people are answering those questions and you analyze uh, uh, whatever is coming in terms of sentiments, the person is not excited when is talking about sales, and that is a behavior which you have observed, that the people who are not excited about sales and join sales, they finally get a performance improvement plan or exit within 3 months. Then you can start applying those lenses. Now again, you have to be a little bit cautious when you do this kind of analysis. You should not be use this as a yes no tool. It is not a yes no tool, it is an additional data point. So when you are interacting with that candidate, you should make sure that you are probing on those issues to make an informed decision. And that's how predictive analysis can help. And look, there is nothing new. I remember that anyone in HR used to do this analysis earlier also, that see the behavior of the successful employees or see the behavior of the employees who are not doing well, understand those characteristics of those people, and then prepare an entry criteria to improve the recruitment process or to refine your training programs. We have been doing this for ages, or even for defining our compensation practices. Now, thing is, there is a tool available which can do this, mm, uh, let's say, very quickly and very smartly, so that you don't have to go through that pain. But still, let me tell you, I have done this myself. Collecting data for this kind of venture is not an easy task. You will get the model very easily. Google gives this model for free. Uh, but when you have to put data for 100 parameters uh, for predictive analytics, uh, the amount of data which you have to feed and the breadth of data which you have to feed, uh, it is huge, it is enormous. And the data has to be clean. Once you start putting that data, still it takes 3 to 6 months to mature and start giving, because there is a feedback which goes. You are dealing with a machine which is like a kid who doesn't know about your reality, who doesn't know about your cultural context. So it may go completely wrong. So, but after 6 months, I have seen the results are awesome. Whichever area you have trained the machine on, you get good results. And like it is not that simple a solution that okay, package it and give it to somebody. For each problem, you have to take that much pain. For these are kind of SLMs, small language models, uh, which solve one problem. And you develop 10 such SLMs, then it becomes easier for you to run your business and use predictive analytics as well as sentiment analysis together.
I think very beautifully in very simple language you have explained. It takes a time. It may take 6 months to get the results, get the predictions on this based on the behavior pattern of employees. So, Balamalai, how do you see how it is helping in performance management?
See, predictive analysis, in my opinion, let's say performance management, one of the pieces, personality development plans, right? So that's one of the best outcome of your performance management. So you know where the person is today, and of course, you set your career path and goals. You know where he will be in a year later, 2 year later, and things like that. So you have the goal set. You know the today's skills, today's performance of the person. Now that's where the predictive analytics over a period, and it's not a one-time medicine. You do this continuously, right? You can, as Harjeet nicely said, gather the data continuously and keep feeding to this engine. It keeps seeing, like in your cricket, the whether your run rate is the line is going towards the actual track. No, say same way,
Actual goal.
you can keep checking the predictive analysis, showing you where are you today and where you will be in the same rate. How will you be 3 months later or 6 months later with the current learnings and current skills that you are exhibiting. So this is where predictive analysis comes very handy. You don't call the person 6 months later or 1 year later and say, sorry, you're not good for this anymore. I have to hold you back in where you are, or things like that. Instead, this predictive analysis upfront helps you even to change his course, change his direction. Maybe you'll add some more extra training to him. Maybe you'll add a buddy system to him or mentoring to him. Thanks to the predictive analysis, it can see where he is today, and every moment when you keep watching his progress with complete data, and data is the complete mantra here, and in a system to assimilate this data and give you an output. That's where AI comes in. So with this combination, you can definitely say, is the person is on the right track. Predictive analysis can be a potential weapon. And as you said, yes, in the past also people were predicting at a human level. How much you can do for how many people? You need to have 1:1 HR team, right? Not
And that is
possible.
also
No.
based on intuition, maybe sometime, but here your predictions are based on data. So
Data, exactly. And
these may be more
pre-trained
accurate.
models are the best solutions. And we also advise a concept called knowledge garden, where the problem he talked about, building the data. So the pre-trained systems do help that way, right? So you are able to build the knowledge base of your organizational, whether it be it skills, events, happenings, all of them. If you are able to prepare them as knowledge chunks and then feed into AI, it can easily give you that predictable outcome. So I
Right.
think we have enough tools and measures to achieve a true predictive analysis that can help a personality development plan or a performance management for sure.
Absolutely. So in this session, the emphasis has been on next-gen AI, how it can improve the performance management, and how the uses of sentiment analysis and predictive analytics is started. So thank you so much, Balamalai ji and Harjeet ji, for joining the conversation and sharing your wonderful thoughts. Thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you for
wonderful,
having us.
Ramesh. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And Arjit, it was lovely having your knowledge share for me too. Thank you so much.